Brazilian writer Rubem Alves once wrote a story for his 4-year-old daughter. It was about an enchanted bird and a little girl who loved each other. The bird never lived inside cages. It arrived when it wanted and left when it wanted. The girl suffered because of this. She loved the bird with the desperation of someone who had already understood, even as a child, the terrifying instability of beautiful things. Every time the bird disappeared into the sky, a silent fear opened inside her chest. What if one day it never comes back? And maybe that is where all human tragedy begins, not in hatred, not in violence, but in attachment. The human being does not know how to love without wanting permanence. We don't simply admire beauty, we want to imprison it. We don't merely experience happiness, we demand guarantees from it. We look at fleeting things and ask them to behave as if they were eternal. So the girl had a dark thought. If I trap the enchanted bird inside a cage, it will never leave me. We'll be happy forever. And she did it. But something happened she could never have imagined. The bird lost its enchantment. Its eyes became dull. Its songs became lifeless. Its wings no longer carried the same mystery. The girl didn't understand that the bird needed the sky to remain alive. Freedom was not separate from its beauty. Freedom was its beauty. And this is where the story stops being about a bird. Because people do the exact same thing every day. They suffocate relationships with control. They transform love into surveillance. They turn affection into possession. They destroy what they fear losing. There is something profoundly tragic about the human condition. We ruin things precisely because they matter too much to us. The more valuable something becomes emotionally, the more we try to freeze it in time. But existence was never built to remain still. Everything in reality obeys movement. Oceans move, clouds move, cells die and regenerate. Entire galaxies drift silently through cosmic darkness. Nothing was designed to stay. Yet humans spend their entire lives pretending otherwise. We save old messages like relics from dead civilizations. We revisit photographs as if memory could resurrect time. We replay songs that once healed us until even the music becomes exhausted. We cling to people who are already emotionally gone. Because deep down, the human being cannot accept a brutal truth. Everything beautiful is already disappearing. Even now, the sunset only feels sacred because it dies in front of your eyes. Childhood only becomes beautiful after it's gone. Certain loves only survive while mystery still breathes inside them. Even desire itself weakens after possession. This is why so many people spend years chasing things they secretly no longer want after obtaining them. The fantasy was alive. Reality killed it. Ancient Buddhist philosophy understood this thousands of years ago. Desire creates suffering because the mind attaches itself to impermanent things while demanding permanence from them. But permanence does not exist anywhere in observable reality. Not biologically, not spiritually, not cosmically. Entropy devours everything. Stars collapse, bodies decay, memories dissolve, names vanish. And still humanity keeps building cages, because cages create the illusion of safety. But safety has a cost. The cost is enchantment. Maybe maturity begins when someone realizes happiness was never hidden inside possession. It was hidden inside participation, inside temporary encounters, inside moments that could leave at any second. The bird was beautiful because it could disappear, and perhaps love only remains pure when it still has the freedom to fly away. In Fantôchias by Enrico Verissimo, there is a story about a lonely man living in a boarding house beside the home of a young woman. Every afternoon, he watched her appear at the window surrounded by flowers. And slowly, without noticing, his entire existence began reorganizing itself around her presence. Before that, his life had been empty, mechanical, gray, a repetitive cycle of books, numbers, equations, silence, and invisible sadness. He existed the way many people exist today, biologically alive, spiritually absent. But then she appeared, like sunlight entering a ruined cathedral, and suddenly the world became tolerable again. The man started imagining things. He imagined she looked back at him, imagined silent conversations between their eyes, imagined hidden meanings inside ordinary gestures. And the farther away she remained, the more perfect she became. Distance is the greatest sculptor of illusions. Reality has flaws. Distance edits them out. The mind fills absence with fantasy. It creates sacred versions of people who never truly existed. That is why longing often feels holier than possession. Longing allows imagination to continue its work uninterrupted. Eventually, the man gathers courage and visits her house. Nervous, trembling, carrying inside himself the pathetic hope that destroys so many human beings, he confesses to the girl's father that he is in love. The old man listens quietly, then says something devastating. Pretend she is happiness. And happiness, my friend, is nothing more than a beautiful woman looking at us from a flowered window. Between us and her, there is always a wall, and we must never climb that wall, because happiness is only beautiful from afar. The man cannot understand this, because like almost everyone, he confuses happiness with acquisition. Humans are obsessed with arrival. They believe life exists in the future, in achievement, in possession, in conquest. If I can just reach this person, if I can just obtain this thing, if I can just become this version of myself, then finally, peace. But peace never arrives, because desire survives through distance. Completion kills tension, and tension is often what gave the dream its emotional electricity in the first place. Then the man discovers the truth. The young woman was blind. She had never seen him, never looked at him, never even knew he existed. The entire relationship had been built exclusively inside his own mind. And in that moment, something terrifying becomes clear. The happiness he felt was never truly coming from her. It came from illusion, from projection, from possibility, from distance. And maybe this is what happens with most human desires. People fall in love with imagined futures, with invented versions of others, with emotional mirages. Psychology calls this projection. Mysticism calls it illusion. Buddhism calls it attachment. Existentialism calls it absurdity. Different names, same wound. The human being rarely sees reality directly. He sees his hunger reflected onto reality. And this connects perfectly with the story of the enchanted bird. The girl believed happiness meant trapping the bird forever. The sad man believed happiness meant finally reaching the woman at the window. Both made the same mistake. They tried to transform mystery into ownership. But there are things that only remain beautiful while unreachable. Maybe some distances are sacred. Maybe some walls were never meant to be crossed. Why does the human being feel such an obsessive need to possess? Why is it so difficult to simply experience something without immediately trying to transform it into permanence? Maybe because underneath all ambition, all romance, all attachment, all control, there is fear. Raw fear. Fear of loss. Fear of abandonment. Fear of time. Fear of death. Most people are not chasing love. They are chasing psychological shelter against impermanence. To possess something feels like temporarily defeating chaos. A relationship, a title, a house, a body, a religion, an ideology. Humans collect identities and attachments because existence itself feels unstable. We are fragile creatures thrown into a universe that offers no guarantees whatsoever. And perhaps modern life worsened this anxiety. Social media transformed people into products. Relationships became consumable. Desire became algorithmic. Everything today whispers the same hypnotic message. Acquire more, control more, secure more. But no amount of possession silences existential emptiness for long. Because emptiness is not a flaw in reality. It may actually be the structure of reality itself. Look carefully at nature. Clouds change shape every second. The sea never forms the same wave twice. Your skin is aging while you read this sentence. The person you were 10 years ago is already dead psychologically. Everything moves. Everything dissolves. And suffering often begins exactly when humans resist this movement. We cling to memories because memory feels safer than uncertainty. We revisit old conversations because the past seems emotionally more controllable than the future. We try resurrecting dead emotions because accepting endings feels too close to accepting mortality itself. That is why breakups feel like funerals, not merely because someone left, but because the illusion of permanence died. And perhaps this explains why so many people remain trapped inside nostalgia. Nostalgia is emotionally seductive because it edits suffering out of memory while preserving emotional warmth. It turns temporary moments into sacred artifacts. But reality keeps moving forward mercilessly. A flower removed from the ground remains beautiful briefly. Then it dies. An over-controlled relationship suffocates. A forced happiness mutates into anxiety. A person obsessed with certainty becomes spiritually exhausted. Maybe life was never meant to be possessed. Maybe it was only meant to be witnessed. Mystics have repeated this for centuries. The Taoists spoke about flowing with existence instead of resisting it. Heraclitus spoke about eternal flux. Buddhist monks meditated on impermanence beside human skulls to remember that attachment inevitably leads towards suffering. Because some things only remain alive while they remain free. And maybe maturity means understanding this without bitterness, without trying to imprison the sky, without demanding eternity from what was born to disappear. There is something almost nobody fully accepts. Everything is vanishing, right now. While you listen to this, someone somewhere is unknowingly living the final ordinary day of their life. A mother is hugging her child for the last time without realizing it. Two friends are having their final conversation while speaking casually about meaningless things. And maybe that is the strangest part of existence. Life continues normally while everything collapses silently underneath it. People go to work while their parents age. They answer emails while entire phases of their lives disappear forever. They scroll through distractions while time consumes their bodies cell by cell. Modern society became extraordinarily efficient at helping human beings avoid awareness of death. Constant entertainment, constant stimulation, constant noise. Because silence is dangerous. Silence forces confrontation. And what waits in that confrontation is terrifying. Nothing remains. Heraclitus once said, "No man ever steps in the same river twice." Because the river changed, and so did the man. This is not poetry, it is physics. The universe itself is movement. Entropy pushes all structures toward dissolution. Stars burn themselves to death. Black holes consume light. Entire civilizations vanish into dust. Languages disappear. Religions fracture. Empires collapse. One day, every person you know will be gone. One day, every photograph on your phone will become meaningless to someone else. One day, your name, your ambitions, your fears, your memories, even your voice, will dissolve into the same silence that swallowed billions before you. And this horrifies the human mind because consciousness desperately wants continuity. Humans want something solid beneath reality, something permanent, something eternal, something safe. That is why religions emerged, why myths emerged, why humans invented afterlives and cosmic narratives. Not necessarily because they are false, but because the human psyche cannot easily tolerate radical impermanence. Mysticism often begins where certainty dies, when someone stares long enough into existence and realizes there may be no stable ground anywhere. And yet, there is also something strangely liberating about this. Because if everything disappears, then perhaps life was never asking you to control it. Perhaps existence was asking you only to witness it, to experience, to love temporarily, to participate consciously inside the collapse. The greatest human mistake is demanding permanence from a universe built entirely from transformation. Everything here changes. Everything here passes. Even this video will disappear someday. This channel, these words, this voice, you. And maybe that is precisely why things matter. If everything lasted forever, nothing would feel sacred. Mortality gives weight to moments. Impermanence creates meaning. The candle is beautiful because it burns out. What if the girl had never trapped the bird? Maybe it would have continued visiting every morning. Maybe she would have grown old watching that creature crossing the sky freely, slowly understanding that certain things remain beautiful precisely because they belong to nobody. And what if the sad man had never crossed the street? Maybe he would have continued looking at the flowered window every afternoon, carrying inside himself that fragile spark of hope that made existence bearable. Maybe his happiness existed exactly there, not in realization, but in contemplation. Modern people have forgotten how to contemplate. Everything now must become immediate, defined, concluded, explained. Humans became addicted to certainty because uncertainty feels unbearable to wounded minds. But perhaps some things were never meant to be solved completely. Perhaps some experiences exist only to awaken something inside us temporarily before disappearing again. Like dreams, like music heard late at night, like certain strangers we never forget. Maybe life becomes lighter when someone stops demanding permanence from it. Because beneath all illusion, everything is already leaving. The sky you see today will never exist again in exactly the same form. Your face is changing while you breathe. Your voice is aging in microscopic increments. The people you love are slowly disappearing through time even while standing beside you. And one day, you will disappear too. Maybe that is what makes everything unbearably beautiful. The fact that it ends. The stories that changed you ended. The songs ended. The summers ended. Your childhood ended. This moment will end too. And maybe suffering intensifies whenever we resist this fundamental law of existence. Whenever we attempt to interrupt the natural flow of things. Peace may be something else entirely. Maybe peace is looking at what you love without needing to own it. Without demanding guarantees, without transforming affection into imprisonment. The bird needed the sky. The woman needed distance. And perhaps human beings also need to learn how to let things pass through their lives without immediately trying to capture them. Because in the end, everything returns to the same place. To silence, to emptiness, to time. And perhaps emptiness is not punishment. Perhaps emptiness is the original face of existence itself, the same void from which stars were born, and to which all things eventually return. If these videos make you feel less alone in your thoughts, then maybe this channel has already become more than just content for you. There are more than 100 videos here exploring philosophy, nihilism, human suffering, consciousness, solitude, and the strange weight of existence itself. And every single view, every comment, every share already helps more than you probably realize. Seriously, just being here matters. But if you want to go deeper, you can become a channel member and support the continuation of these videos directly. Members help keep this space alive and gain access to exclusive content, early videos, and a closer connection to the channel itself. And if one particular video touched something inside you, you can also use the Super Thanks feature. It's a simple gesture, but it genuinely helps this project continue existing. in a world where meaningful things disappear so easily. In the end, attention is one of the rarest forms of love left, and the fact that you stayed until now already means more than you think.